Hey guys, welcome. My name is Till and I'm your race day announcer for the inaugural Ironman 70.3 Marrakech. And the man next to me, that is your race director, Simo. Simo, say hello.
Hello everybody, you are very welcome in Marrakech here. The weather is very nice and we are very excited to invite you coming here for the very first time in North Africa. We are organizing this Ironman 17.3.
Hey, and you should be really excited because I was fortunate enough to already spend a few days in the Marrakech and it's amazing. So I hope you brought enough time not just to race but also to explore the city, because this is the perfect ending to an amazing tour or year 2019 on the Ironman European Tour. And look forward to the race. It's a beautiful course and as you said, the sun is shining. So we're looking forward to welcoming you. For now, enjoy the race briefing, make sure you know all the details, and then see you right here at the circuit.
See you this weekend.
And here we go, as promised, with the race briefing for Ironman 70.3 Marrakech. Big shout out, of course, to all our partners for helping us make this race happen. And with this, let's begin on the race briefing. Check in first. Make sure to know your bib number, which you can either find in the email we send you, on the display in front of registration, or on our website. And then you go collect your envelope from registration stand and make sure to have your license and ID checked or buy a day pass if needed. Then you go collect your transition bags from the next stand and then head into the Ironman village to collect your athlete backpack. And then just a reminder, the timing chip you won't find in your backpack, you will receive that after checking in your bike and when you're walking out of transition. This is roughly what it looks like. So you're walking in from the right-hand side. That's where you see the entrance to the Ironman village. And from there, we automatically guide you through. And before the big building, most importantly, you see the little square there. And that's our info booth. And that's where all your questions and anything you might need will be answered when you get here on Saturday for check-in. Your race package will include a swim cap, white ones for the relays, orange for the women and brown for the men, and of course the gold ones for our all-world athletes. One bib number, 3 transition bags, the white ones for your streetwear, the red ones for the run and the blue ones for the bike. And then 1 set of stickers for bags, helmet and bike. A set of tattoos, which isn't mandatory, it's up to you if you want to wear it in the race or not. And your athlete bracelet, which of course is mandatory. Shuttle services, very important to listen to this one or read up on this one. So on Saturday, after you drop your red bags here in transition 2, shuttles will take you from the circuit Moulin Al Hassan up to the lake Lala Takakus, and that's where you swim. Your race start is, that's where transition 1 is. So we're going to take you up there. Very important, if you want to use the shuttle on Saturday, it's 20 euros for the round trip and it's for athletes only. And very important that you book your round trip when you come down here for registration already. So don't just rock up and don't have a ticket, as there's limited spaces available for the shuttle up to the lake. And that's for Saturday. Very important, just for the bike check-in. Race morning shuttles, however, they will start from 5 different pickup locations. And very importantly, they will start at 5 o'clock sharp. So they don't run in circles. There will be a 5 o'clock start and everybody has to be ready. Then pick-up points are Ivanage, Mohammed the 6th, City Center, Agdal and Krifia. And the buses are marked with shuttle bus flags. And the cost is for free for athletes. And you can buy a 10 euro ticket for your friends, your family, if they want to use the shuttle up to the race start as well. Once again, just make sure to buy that ticket when you come down here to the circuit for registration already. That's the one we talked about with the relatives. So just make sure to get them their ticket and then they can join you up on that bus ride. And of course, we will take them back into the city after the last athlete is out of the water and onto the bike course as well. Bike check-in. This is what transition looks like. Easiest is really when you get there in the afternoon on Saturday. We will have the volunteers and the officials stand in there. They will guide you exactly through all the different zones where you be. But you see the numbers on the right-hand side and the different starts. So the swim start for number 1, for example. Number 2 is the swim exit. From there you run to number 3 into transitions where you first grab your bags and then you got little benches available, and then there's changing tents if required, and then you run through, grab your bikes, and eventually head on out towards the bike course up on number 7, where you then make a left-hand turn. Opening hours for the bike check-in, even if you want to go up there yourself, are from 12 o'clock, from noon until 7 p.m. And the last shuttle departs here from the circuit at 5:30 p.m. And latest entry to the bike park up there is 6:45 p.m. Make sure to put your stickers on the bike, clearly visible from the left-hand side for the referees. And make sure to drop your bike bag, the blue bag, up there as well. Helmet and bib number have to be inside the bag. They cannot be on the bike, they need to be inside the bag. And just a little reminder, before you head up there, you need to drop your run bag in T2 at the circuit from where the buses leave yourself. You wreck them there yourself, and then you head on out towards the bike check-in. Make sure to not leave anything on the floor around the bike, okay? So everything needs to be either be attached to the bike, like bottles, for example, or be in the blue bike bag. As we said, helmet and bib number need to be inside the bag. Shoes can be attached onto the bike. And then you will have access to the bike park and transition from 6 a.m. until 7:45 on Sunday morning. And very important, just a reminder, personal pumps are forbidden in all transition bags, so we will provide pumps by organization up there in transition. If you bring your own, if you insist on bringing your own, you need to have somebody on site who will take it off your hands before the race starts. You cannot leave them in transition or your transition bags. Run check-in. This is what we briefly talked about. This is the layout of T2, where the run eventually starts after you finished your bike ride. And you see number 1, that's where you get off the bike into transition. Then you wreck your bikes. You simply wreck them by how you come in. You don't need to put them back to numbers. And then you run into the whole athlete's garden and changing area, grab your bags again, change, make sure to put everything from the bike into the run bag then, don't leave things lying around, and then head out onto that run course. Run check-in for your red bags from 12:30 p.m. until 6 p.m. on Saturday. Remember, Circuit Moulin El Hassan, from where the shuttles are leaving to T1 for the bike check-in on Saturday as well. Staffers will help you with your athlete bracelet at the entrance and show you the right spots for the bike park and everything, show you where to hang your bags. Just when you hang them there, remember on race day everything is getting a little bit hectic, so have your little spots, your little markers ready that you really remember where your bag is, that you're sufficient in transition on race day. And here we go. It's a race day. It's Sunday morning race day for the inaugural Ironman 70.3 Marrakech with a beautiful start up at the Lake Lala Takakust. And as we said, we open transition at 6 o'clock in the morning until 7:45. You can drop off the streetwear bag. That's the white one. Make sure to have your bib number on there. Remember, you find the sticker in your athlete's bags. And then we will transport those bags down to the finish. And those are also the first bags you have access to once you cross that finish line down here at the circuit. If you lose your timing chip, just simply find the official info booth in the transition zones. They will help you out with a replacement chip. So that's always happening in transition zones. That's where you can find replacement chips if you should lose them during any of the legs throughout the race. These are the cutoff times for your race. You got 1 hour and 10 minutes for the swim, respective after your individual swim start. Remember, it's a rolling swim start. We're going to talk about that in a second. So everybody, from the point when you get into the water, you have 1 hour and 10 minutes for your swim. You have 5 hours and 30 for swim and bike after your swim start. And you have 8 hours and 30 for your overall race to bring it down to the finish line. And it's up to organization that if you miss the cutoff times, or it's clearly that you will miss them, they're allowed to take you out of the race. Please always listen to the officials. Rolling start procedure, if you're not familiar with it, it's an initiative by Ironman to make the swim more relaxed and safe to every athlete out there. And it works fantastically if you're being smart about evaluating your own swim ability. So what you're going to do is when you get there, you see 20 different zones according to your respective swim times. So faster than 27 minutes and all the way to more relaxed than 46 minutes and higher up to an hour and 10 minutes. So be realistic about your expected swim time of the day and line up according to the boards that you will see along that pre-swim start area. And if you do it correctly, you're only surrounded by like-minded or similar swimmers in the water, making for a very relaxed nice swim out here at Ironman 70.3 Marrakech. Start groups expected time 8 a.m. pro men 7:45, pro women 7:47, and then the age groups at 8 o'clock. And for the relays, already before we go through it, a little reminder: you start at the very end of the rolling start. Relay swimmers are not allowed to mix in with the individual athletes. It's a 1.9 kilometer, pretty easy, straightforward swim. You make 2 right-hand turns and you're back towards the finish already. And to make it even more simple, you simply keep every swim buoy on your right-hand side as you see it on the board here. And so just keep every buoy on the right-hand side, 2 right-hand turns, and you're heading straight towards that swim finish already. Just familiarize yourself a little bit with the location and the swim course out there on Saturday during the bike check-in, which also brings us to the point, very importantly, there's no swimming allowed on Saturday in the lake. So don't plan on doing a warm-up swim or something on Saturday during bike check-in, as it's not permitted in the lake on Saturday. Transition 1, pick up your blue bag, transition back, change either on the benches, or if you're going completely nude, then you need to change inside the tents. Tidy up your swim equipment, put it into your blue bike bag, give it a quick pull, and make sure to drop it into those drop zones once you run out of the tent. Put your helmet on, close the chin strap before you touch your bike, and then you grab your bike, run out of transition until you see the mount line and the officials giving you the sign that you're allowed to get on the bike where you are, and then you can start the bike ride. The bike route. Okay, have a look at this here. Beautiful bike course. Overall, you're descending more than you're climbing, but don't be fooled. If you look at the chart here, you actually start halfway into the mountains already and it goes up a little bit, so it's not a real downhill course, but at the end of the day, you're still descending 160 meters more than you're climbing, which makes for a fantastic fast last 30 kilometers towards transition. And I think we're going to look at it in a second, but just to be on the safe side, that's one to remember on that bike course is the sides of the route you're staying on. Usually it's all right-hand traffic as you used to on the roads here. But from the very beginning, that little loop to the left-hand side, all the way roughly up until the 17-kilometer marks, we will keep you on the left-hand side of the road. Simple reason for that, it's an out and back course that takes you past transition again. And of course, we don't want athletes coming out of the water and athletes on the bike crossing each other. And therefore, for the first roughly 17 kilometers, we will keep you on the left-hand side of the road. Please follow the signs. And once you pass the lake again on the way back, we will guide you onto the right-hand side of the road. And from there, it's right-hand side traffic all the way. Make sure on the bike route to stick to the sides we send you on. Do not cross across the wide middle line, and always pull to the sides once you passed another athlete. We got 3 aid stations. We'll be serving Easy Start sports nutrition here in Marrakech, and you will have multi-fruit bars, booster gels, fruit boost, fruit paste, and orange and cranberry flavored hydrate and performance drinks, bananas and water. 8 stations are located at kilometer 30, 51 and 73. And look for those red and the green banners you see at the bottom. The green one indicates from there on out you're allowed to throw your trash and your littering away. And the red one is when the zone ends. Outside those zones, there's no littering allowed out there on the course. If you're being caught littering out there on the course, it's a disqualification through the race officials. Talking of disqualifications, your penalties. A yellow card throughout the race is a 30-second stop-and-go penalty. A blue card is a 5-minute penalty. 2 blue cards is 2 times 5, so 10 minutes overall already. And 3 blue cards or any accumulation of 3 cards is an instant disqualification. Remember, as per triathlon rules, if you're disqualified, you're still allowed to bring the race to the finish line and hand in a protest if you feel so. Just once again, a reminder here as well, is the fact that you did something wrong will not be overturned. That's a decision made by the referees. The only thing that can be overturned is if you got the wrong penalty for what you did. It's a non-drafting race here at Ironman 70.3 Marrakech. 12-meter non-drafting rule, front wheel to back wheel, maximum 25 seconds to pass another athlete. If you cannot pass the athlete within those 25 seconds, you have to drop back and recover, clear the 12 meters yourself, and then eventually try and pass again. If you're the athlete being passed, you have 25 seconds to clear the 12 meters once the other athlete has passed you. Penalty boxes are located at kilometer 51 and then 500 meters away from transition 2. If you get a penalty, it is your responsibility to check yourself into the next available penalty tent. So if you get the penalty before kilometer 51 on the bike course, it needs to be the tent at kilometer 51. If it's after, it needs to be the tent 500 meters away from transition. And it is your responsibility to know the color of your penalty, to check yourself into the tent, serve the time, and check your name on the board that you have served the penalty. Transition 2. Make sure to get off the bike in front of the dismount line, so no riding into transition. They're very clearly visible on the ground, and you will see the officials waving flags and telling you to get off the bike. And then make sure to wreck your bike before taking the helmet off you. So you have to have the bike out of your hands before you take the helmet off, and you wreck your bikes yourself. So we don't have bike wreckers for you. Put your bike just as you come in, you see how you rack them up, and then go get your run back, get changed, either on the benches again, or if you go completely nude, you do it inside the tent again. Put all of your bike things that you still have on you into the run back, close it, give it a good quick pull, and on the way out of transition, drop it into those drop zones, and then you head out onto the beautiful 2-loop 21.1 kilometer run course along Marrakech. The running route, here we go. At the turn point, you will get a little hairband, a wristband to indicate that you finished the first loop, and then you head into the second loop, and hopefully we will be welcoming all of you no later than 8 hours and 30 minutes after your respective swim start. 8 stations on the run course. Once again, Isostar Sports Nutrition with the multi-fruit bars, boosters, the fruit paste, the performance drinks, water, cola, tuck cookies, bananas, and oranges will be served. You got the littering zones again indicated by the green eco zone banners, beginning and the end by the red banners, and 8 stations are located at kilometer 1.5, 3.75, 6.25, and 8.65 on each of the 2 run laps. Rules and regulations: remember, no cutting and altering and folding of the bit numbers. You need to put them on as they are. No use of headphones, electronic devices, cameras, mobile phones out there on the course. You're not allowed to be accompanied by friends, family, coaches out there on the course. If you have coaches, they want to give you split times, they can do so while you pass them, but they have to keep both feet on the ground at the same time, and they're not allowed to make forward progress with you during any part of the race. No help from the outside, so no third-party help, only help by other athletes and officials from the organization. And of course, as we talked about, no littering out there on the course, no urinating in public. You will find portaloos along the 8 stations. And for the swim, no shortcutting, no unsportsmanlike behavior. You are not allowed to wear the bit number during the swim underneath your wetsuit. Which brings us to the point, you have to wear your bit number here in Marrakech on the bike and the run, on the bike in the back, for the run in the front. Of course, no help materials like finger paddles, flippers, and so on in the water. And the water temperature is currently expected to sit at around 20 degrees, which will, if that's the case, make for a wetsuit legal swim. And of course, we will announce the official water temperature 1 hour before the race start. As you come out of the water, remember, you're allowed to pull the wetsuit down no further than your hips. All right, so don't take them down any further until you're inside transition. Then you can take them off entirely. On the bike, make sure to wear your helmet. Chin strap needs to be attached and closed. Obviously, wear the bib number, you need to respect the traffic laws, you need to respect the drafting laws, the 12-meter rule, and again, you're not allowed to be accompanied by anybody out there on the course. And on the run course, you need to wear the bib number in the front. You need to have your upper body covered, no bare-chested running, and again, you're not allowed to be accompanied by anybody on the course. And with that, we come to the finish line, the moment of celebration, and this is how you do it. Remember, it is an athlete's race here in Marrakech, so only athletes are allowed to cross the finish line. Don't bring your family, your pets, your spouses, anybody cross the line. You can celebrate them with them after a fantastic race, but crossing the finish line is only for athletes, and for the relay athletes, of course, you can cross the line all three together. And then when you come down that finish line, just make sure to have your best look. There will be cameras, there will be pictures taken. Celebrate, enjoy the moment. It is your finish line. We're ready here for you, and it's going to be your celebration of a fantastic race at Ironman 70.3 Marrakech. From there, you get your medals, you head into the athletes garden, you recover, you get food, and you get your white leisure bags and everything, and then eventually get to see your friends and family to celebrate with them. After the race in the athletes garden, treat yourself, as we said, to some sweets and salty supplies, relax with the massages, and get your streetwear bags. And hey, for yourself and for your friends and family and so on, let's make this a fantastic race, not just for everybody here on site, but for everybody watching you guys out there in the world as well. So if you're in Marrakech already, or if you're posting pictures from the race and your friends and family post them, throw them out there on Instagram, hashtag IM703 Marrakech for Ironman 70.3 Marrakech, or also post the actual Instagram account of Ironman 70.3 Marrakech. Tag yourself into the pictures, and we will see fantastic pictures of the race going around the world. Check out at the Circuit Moulin Al Hassan in transition 2, or the transition 2 areas on Sunday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. And remember, you only have access to the bike park by showing your athlete bracelet, and you can pick up your run bag, your bike bag, your bike, and then you return the timing chip once you exit the bike park. Results will be online on our website, and then of course awards in the evening and the allocation of the Ironman 70.3 World Championship slots. 40 slots for beautiful Taupo, New Zealand, the 70.3 World Championship in November 2020. So make sure to be there. Make sure, even if you're not in the top 3 in your age group, slots might roll down every once in a while. We've given slots away, you know, like we had one lucky age group at the last race where we had a 15th place. So come, show up for the slot allocation, because afterwards we've got the awards going on anyway. So here in Marrakech, slots first, then awards. Slots start at 6:30 until about 7 o'clock. And very important, if you want to take your slot, you have to be here in person. You have to have some form of picture ID that it's really you, and you have to have a functioning credit card to pay the $500 plus 8% active fee to sign up for the World Championship. Following the slot allocation, it's the awards as well as Hotel Kensi Menara, starting at 7:30 until 8:30, and it's podium for the 6 top pro women and men, and top 3 in the age group women and men respectively, as well as the podiums for our relay women, men, and mixed. And with that, we're quickly going to talk about the relays. You got the white swim caps. Little reminder, your swimmers start at the very end of the start, so you're not allowed to mix in with the individual athletes. There's designated transition zones or handover zones for the relays in transition. Make sure to familiarize yourself with it when you check your bags and your bike. And same check-in time for you guys on Saturday as it is for the individual athletes as well. So drop the red bag at the circuit first, and then you take the shuttle bus up to T1, check the bike, and get everything ready up there. You've got 2 bib numbers in comparison to the individual athletes, so one for the cyclist, one for the runner. Athletes can be ready for their leg in transition already, so the cyclist can have the helmet on and the shoes on, and the runner can be ready to run with the bib number on and everything. So the swimmer comes in, finds his cyclist hands over the timing chip, and the cyclist heads to his bike, grabs the bike, runs out of transition, and only once you're out of transition, you get onto the bike, you cycle the 90 kilometers, get off the bike before the dismount line, put your bike up, run towards the relay transition area again, hand the timing chip to the runner, and then the runner heads out onto the 2-loop run course. And there might still be questions. I hope not. I try to tell you everything there is. If there's questions up there, not a problem at all. When you're coming down to the circuit here for registration, then simply find the info booth, and our beautiful helpers there will be able to answer all your questions that you might still have before the race. And remember, you want to be sure about the race and all your information. There's no stupid questions. If there's anything you're in doubt about, simply go to the info booth and we will answer your question. With that, the last thing I can say is enjoy your race, believe in your dreams, anything is possible. See you at the finish line.